Hello and welcome to the Inclusive Policymaking podcast series brought to you by the Women's Democracy Network. I'm your host, Kudzanai Chimombe, and I'm excited to guide you through today's discussion. This series is part of a broader effort to highlight how policymaking in the city of Harare can become more inclusive, transparent, and participatory, especially for women and the often excluded groups. Today's topic is building bridges for inclusive policy making. And I'm joined today by two incredible speakers. I'll let them introduce themselves. Madam, you can go ahead.
Hey, good morning. My name is Rosemary Muronda. I'm the Deputy Mayor of the City of Harare.
Hello, everyone. My name is Vimbai Mshongera, a member of the Women's Democracy Network.
Thank you for those introductions. So, Madam Deputy Mayor, what are the barriers or gaps for inclusive policy making?
All right, thank you so much. There are a plethora of barriers to inclusive policy making, namely lack of representation, cultural norms, poor access to information, implementation, just to name a few. On lack of representation, women, young people, living with disability and people living with disability and the underrepresented represented in decision making. For too long, policies were being made for women, not by women, whereas women constitute 52.4% of the population in Zimbabwe. Therefore, there is need to create more equal safe spaces for women. Section 17 of the Constitution mandates gender equality. If fully implemented, Zimbabwe would be typically like Rwanda because we have one of the best constitution provisions on gender equality. I thank you.
Thank you so much. Brilliant. So if we have policy-making processes that include women, then it means those policies will be inclusive for the women around us. Vimbai, what are the challenges to inclusive policy making?
Thank you very much for that question, because with a country that has so many policies and documents that are signed in conventions, we are still suffering from a big gap of application of those fundamentals that we commit to at global or regional levels. The challenge is being that there is no inclusivity when it comes to implementation of those policies. And in inclusivity, I say that women are visible when it comes to voting. They are invisible sometimes, as mentioned in numbers, but when it comes to articulating the policy, when it comes to understanding it, to monitoring it in the budgeting process, the policy does not become real. So this is reflected in the non-presence of gender-sensitive programs that are then implemented downstream. You find that people are living in squalid homes because the houses that are built are not meant to afford dignity or basic dignity for the women. The women traveling to work, the professionals are having to travel in squashed environment. The transport system is nothing to talk of because women are squeezed and are forced to sit in odious positions. And this is not considered under policy making because budgetary objectives are looking at the luxuries of the policymakers more than what should actually be applying to those women who went to vote for them. So the lack of cohesion in the policies themselves makes it difficult to correlate human capital development and social capital development. Let me conclude by saying that you'll find a professional lawyer who is articulating issues in the court has to go home and carry water on their head. And in performance, the urban centers administrators will highlight digging boreholes as a success. Now, if that evaluation is to be brought to the working class and professional women, that would speak differently. And lastly, the way we treat even the informal traders in the street, they're running around, the combis, the mshika-shikas, those do not relate at all to what is provided for in the constitutions and in the policies that we so undersign. So unless we commit to living to what we put our signatures on or what we promise the electorate, then we can have inclusive policies. Thank you, my sister.
Thank you. That was a mouthful. Thank you so much. This brings us to the end of today's episode. A huge thank you to our panelists, Rosemary and Vimbai, for sharing your insights, and to you, our audience, for tuning in. Join us for the next series as we continue to unpack the different layers of policymaking in Harare and spotlight opportunities for inclusion and transformation. Until next time, WDN Zimbabwe remains committed to promoting women's inclusion and participation in policymaking. Let's keep working together to build a more inclusive Harare, where everyone has a seat at the policymaking table. Goodbye for now.